Hello, loves. I wanted to pop on today and talk to you about Etsy image size requirements because it's been brought to my attention a little discrepancy in the thumbnail image size. So Etsy has within their Etsy Help Center, and it says that they recommend a 4:3 aspect ratio for the image thumbnail. Well, I always test and I go in and I test how it's being displayed, how the thumbnail is being displayed, and on my iPhone, so iOS, and on my Mac, it's always continued to display as a 5:4 aspect ratio. So that's how I've continued to teach it. Well, the other day, I had someone comment on one of my YouTube videos that they live in the UK and they were having theirs display. They used my little trick to test it, and theirs was displayed at a 4:3 aspect ratio. So in Christina fashion, I had to dig and find out what was going on, why there was a discrepancy. So I went into my private Facebook group and I had people from the UK post their images. And it came up that some were showing at a 4:3 and some were displaying at a 5:4. So got me spinning again. And I started looking at those images, and it looked as though Android users were seeing Etsy displaying their thumbnail images as a 4:3. So inside that private Facebook group, I had created a new post and asked makers who use Android to post a screenshot of their Etsy search. And when they did that, all of them were showing in a 4:3 aspect ratio. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to show you how I go about testing this. And then we're going to talk about what that means for you as a maker. Okay, so here we have an Etsy picture, and this one was taken on PC. So we're going to look at the crop, and I have it set to a 5:4 aspect ratio. So this is a screenshot of Etsy search on a PC. I set the crop aspect ratio to a 5:4. My computer is running slow, sorry. Okay, so on PC, it's showing up as a 5:4, displaying as a 5:4 aspect ratio. Well, let's move over to Mac, so Etsy search. And all of these screenshots were taken either yesterday, which I believe was August 23rd, or today, the 24th. So here is Etsy search on Mac, and it's displaying as a 5:4 aspect ratio. Now going over to Etsy iOS. So on my iPhone, and that's displaying as a 5:4 aspect ratio as well. And I want you to notice here on PC, on Mac, and on the iPhone, it is showing with pointed corners, right? So now we're moving into this. Here is the Android. Android not only has rounded corners, but when I go to do the 5:4 aspect ratio, I'm trying to move that over there. Computer's lagging. It's not correct, right? So we're going to go in and we're going to change this to customize it to a 4:3. And now we're going to test it. Just going to move it over here. Oh, goodness. Not what I wanted to do. Try that again. Why it's pulling so far over. It's a little better. Okay. So on Android, your images, your listing thumbnails are being displayed as a 4:3 aspect ratio, but on PC, on Mac, on iPhone, on iOS operating system, they are being shown as a 5:4. So what does that mean? So if you're using a smartphone, I believe Android users, depending on the smartphone, they have the option of, especially Samsung Galaxy users have the option of actually choosing the aspect ratio before you shoot. With iPhone, you have the option to like shoot and square, but the standard is 4:3. Okay, so this is a 4:3 aspect ratio here. Now, so if I am an Android user and I'm searching through Etsy, this image would show up this way. So all is well, right? If you upload your images as a 4:3 aspect ratio inside of Etsy, but it's being displayed as a 5:4 on PC for PC users, Mac users, iPhone users. Let's just take it from the corner here and we'll see what this 4:3 looks like. Etsy's going to crop from the center out. And so these little gray bars is what's going to be lost when it comes to displaying on iPhone, Mac, and PC. Okay, not a huge deal, right? You're just losing a little bit of the edges. As long as you are framing your image properly, really isn't an issue there. Let's test 5:4. You go ahead and upload to a 5:4 aspect ratio. And then your Android users are going to get a different display here. Let's see what that's going to look like. We're going to lose a little bit on the top and bottom. So it's just something to be mindful of. At this point, Etsy is recommending in their help center that you do a 4:3 aspect ratio. Either way, I think at this point it's a personal choice. It's an extra step, the actual cropping, the aspect ratio is an extra step. If you don't want to do that, then this right here is what you're going to be looking at when it comes to iPhone users. And Mac and PC users, you're going to lose a little bit of the outer edges. And then for Android users, if you upload as a 5:4, you're going to lose a little bit of the top and a little bit at the bottom. So we're looking at just kind of these outer edges. So if you're already framing your images properly, then there's no concern to rush in and change your images at all, right? If you are uploading new images at this point, really it's going to be a personal preference, because as we can see, there's not much of a difference here. Just make sure your product is not close to the edges. Make sure you're framing your image properly, because Etsy's going to adjust that thumbnail and crop from the center out. So just a little interesting fun fact, little update here, that depending on the operating system you're using, you will be viewing the display of the thumbnail differently. Your shoppers will be viewing the display thumbnail differently. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments below. Talk to you soon, loves.